as you've noticed, if you compare it to a 5x5, you've done 2 centers. And now you need to do this center, this center, this center, and this center. The reason that this cube is different from a 5x5 is because that 4 of the 6 centers actually have multiple colors on each piece. Okay, so let's start with the 3rd center. Let's go with red. So you're going to start by finding a red center edge that's already paired, or it may not be paired, but don't worry. So as you can see, I have red center, and then I have the red and blue edge. Now, since blue is opposite from green, I'm going to find the red and green edge. However, this is a red and green edge, but the green is facing up. However, I want the red facing up, so this would not work. Only this works. You cannot flip this edge in any way. So I found this piece. So I'm going to put it opposite from the blue, which would be here. So I'm going to position it that way, this way, and I'm going to just move it up. Okay, so now you have that. Okay, so this should be very similar to a 5x5, and I will try to get a video up on how to actually solve a 5x5. Okay, so now I'm going to find this row and match it up and then insert it into that. So I'm going to start by finding the red and white edge. And remember that the red is facing out and the white will be facing up. So I've found it here. Okay, so now back to the side. If one edge will have to be red, white, and blue, and the other will be red, green, and white. So again, back to the red and white edge. I now need to pair this with either one of those corners. So I'm going to start with red, green, and blue. So again, this corner would not work because green is facing up rather than out. So I have found the white, red, and green edge corner. And I'm going to pair it up. As you can see, it's back here. If I move it down, it's going to come here, making white face this way. So I want to make white face the opposite direction towards me. So I'm going to move it back like this. And then I'm going to move this to pair it up. And it's paired. Now you'll notice you didn't mess this up because we made sure that it was facing horizontal rather than vertical. So, and we also created this pair here. Now we're going to find the white, red, and blue. So you kind of have to look around the cube. Okay, and here it is. And red is facing out, so it's correct. Now this will be an easier one to do since all you have to do is move it that way. Okay? And now you're going to insert it next to the horizontal line by moving it up, and then you're going to move it the top layer until it's paired up. So as you can see, it's paired up. But there's one problem. The green matches with blue, not its own color. So what you're going to do, you're just going to unpair it. Now you're going to turn the line, twice to switch green and blue. You're going to move it back, pair it up. As you can see, we've done 2 of the 3 rows for this center. Make sure to keep them horizontal so that you don't mess them up when you're doing the next row. So now I have a red and white edge and its corners paired up. Now I need the opposite side paired up, which is the red and yellow. Right here. So I'm going to find it on the cube, and here it is. And this is the right one because red is facing out and yellow is kind of on the other side. Okay, now I'm going to find a corner that goes with it. So let's see, there would be red, yellow, and green. So as you can see, the red, yellow, and green is actually already paired up with it. So that's convenient. Now we need to find the red, yellow, and blue, since green is opposite from blue. And now here is one, but that is not correct because the red is facing up rather than this way. Okay, so here I found it, and this is correct because the red is facing this way, yellow this way, and blue that way. So now I have this pair of two here, and I'm going to find the third one, which is here, and I'm going to put it so that it can be turned once there. So I'm going to position it like this so it can go down. Now because this is the same row as this, I can turn this layer without messing up this side. So that's not a problem. However, if it was like this, and I needed to turn this down, I would mess this up here. So then, I paired this up. I would have to turn it away, and then I'd have to go back to this side and turn that back. So as you can see, we have one row here and two here. We need to combine them now. So because this top row and the one line by itself are on the same row, we can just turn it twice like that. However, the one row might be on the opposite layer of the empty slot. In that case, you would have to turn this twice this way so that it is in the same row, and then turn it twice. Now this is standard 5x5 method, and I'll try to have a video up again. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the green center. So as you can see, the green center has a green and white edge paired up with it. Now we need to find the opposite one to create a line, which would be green and yellow. So I'm looking, and I found it here. And green is facing the right direction, and yellow is up, so it's correct. Now I'm going to put it in the same row of where it needs to go, which is here on the top. So I'm going to move this green and yellow here to the top, and then I'm going to move it twice and match it up with the green center opposite of white. However, you'll notice that you messed up your side that you did before. So now what you're going to do is turn this horizontal and then move that line back. Now you want to keep this horizontal so you don't mess it up when doing other rows for green and other colors. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the green and orange edge. Now as you can see, this is green and orange right here, but the problem is the green is facing the wrong way. So I'm going to find the correct green and orange edge. Okay, I found it here. Now I'm going to find a corner that goes with the green and orange edge. So here is one, green, orange, and white. Now I can move it directly in. Now I want to turn it horizontal like that. And the layer that I just moved down, I want to move that up. Okay, if I were to move that corner up rather than down, then to undo it, I would move it down. Okay, now I'm going to find the last corner that goes with the green and orange edge, which would be the green, orange, and yellow. Okay, I found it here. And just like a 5x5, and just like we've been doing, we're going to put it so that it can move directly down here by just turning these outer layers. And I'm going to go down. And now I'm going to turn it horizontal this way so that when I turn it up, everything is restored. If you notice, I had actually messed up this white edge in the process. Not exactly sure how I did that, but I fixed it. So here it is, and I have yellow right there. Now I'm going to go back to this horizontal line that I was working on, and here it is. So again, the same way we did the first one, I am going to turn it twice to move it here. However, if you'll notice, if I turn this twice, the yellow will go here and the white will be here, and that's not the way we want it, since the yellow is here and the white is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply turn this twice to switch the yellow and the white. Now I'm going to turn this twice to match that up, and now I'm going to use this empty row, and I'm going to push it up to the top where the layer I turned before, and now I'm going to move that twice back to restore this. Okay, now we will work on the last row. So I'm going to use the green and red edge here. So I'm going to look for a green, red, and yellow edge. So here's one, but it's paired up the wrong way, as you can see, because yellow is with red. So that's not a convenient one to use, so I'm going to use the green, red, and white one, and that's right here, as you can see. So I'm going to put that where it needs to go, above that position here, because it needs to go there and replace that wrong edge, or corner, sorry. So I'm going to move it there, and as you can see, it paired up. Now I'm going to turn it horizontal, that, and then move that layer back to restore this. Okay, now I have a corner here that needs to go here, and they're on the same face, so this is kind of inconvenient. What you need to do is move this off of the face and then put it back. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to move it, so this side is solved, so that's not an option. I'm going to use this face here, so I'm going to move this down. Now as you can see, you messed up this here, so I'm going to turn it horizontal, and I'm going to move that layer back. Okay, now they're on the separate layers, and you can do what we've been doing that's very similar to a 5x5. So you're going to turn either side so that this can go up and match up with this edge and corner pair. So here it is, and now you have the whole row. I'm going to turn it horizontal and put that layer back down. Okay, now here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because you need to put this edge over here. As you can see, this is on the top, the slot is on the bottom. So if I were to do this, I turn that twice here, and then turn it twice. This is matched up, but there's nothing I can put in the way to move it back. So that's not going to work. What I have to do is actually put it in the wrong position, which is here. So they're both, the empty one is on the bottom, and this row is on the top, and this is going to actually remove and replace this. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these rows out. That's not the middle one, so I'm going to take this out, let's say. Then I'm going to turn it twice to that side, and then I'm going to put that layer back. Okay, so now I need to put this into here. So all I have to do now is down to pair that up, move that twice, and move that back. As you can see, we now have 4 sides.